Cup and handles. All right, so it really goes back to uh this book I started to read. It's How to Make Money in Stocks: Complete Investing System by William J. O'Neill. All right, so I just got this. Well, I've had this book for a long while, but I haven't read it till recently. And literally, the first hundred some pages are all, companies go dating back to the 1800s in America, with cup and handles that he has found. And so I kind of wanted to go through that process even more, with the cup and handles. Now, these are just for individual companies, but I was thinking, okay, maybe if I use this theory on the SPY, which is the 500 companies, SP 500. And so let's go over what a cup and handle is. All right. So cup and handles. This is a bullish pattern that was developed by William O'Neill. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. It's the same guy. I didn't even realize this. Wow. So this guy has started the cup and handle. Oh my goodness. All right. So I got to do more research on that. I didn't realize that this is the same guy. Okay. Anyway, so the guy who started the cup and handles, get this book. The cup and handle pattern is part of the so-called continuation patterns. As the stock is forming this pattern, it tests old highs. It is likely to incur selling pressure from investors who previously bought at those levels. Selling pressure is likely to make price consolidation with a tendency towards a downtrend for a period of 4 days to 4 weeks before advancing higher. All right. The length, generally cups are with longer and more U-shaped bottoms provide a stronger signal. Avoid cups with sharp V patterns or V bottoms. Depth. Ideally, the cup should not be overly deep. Avoid handles that are overly deep also, as handles should form in the top half of the cup pattern. Now, you're going to have to give me a little bit of leeway when we get into the cup and handle I see with this, because we're talking about 500 companies, all right, not just one. A retest of previous resistance is not required to touch or come within several ticks of the old high. However, the further the top of the handle is away from the highs, the more significant the breakout needs to be. And so that's kind of the overview of what a cup and handle is. And so here's a couple different variations of cup and handle. So you see the cup right here, the handle, boom, it breaks through. You see the cup right here, handle, then breaks through. But you see the difference. There's variations. And even in his book, he shows different variations. All right. It's not so cut and dry as people want to say. Look at this cup and handle. This is a weird one, but it's still a cup, handle, boom. And so for gematria wise, I was thinking, okay, so there's usually a 4 to 1 week ratio for cup. So 4 to 1 week ratio for cup with handle, because in the book he calls it cup with handle. So that's how he says it. So 4 to 1 week ratio for cup with handle equals 330 in English ordinal, and that's based off the guy who started it, cup with handle, William J. O'Neill. This is his book. All right. So definitely take a read to that. And so let's go into the SPY cup and handle. I say cup and handle, cup with handle. So let's go into the SPY. And now realize the SPY closed at 410 this Friday. So it's kind of on the edge of not being a cup and handle anymore. But if it starts to go back up a little bit and start to trend above the 400 line, I think it has a really good case to be. And so you see these charts, right? You see these charts. You see right here, you have that top trend line right here, right? That was 2000. Well, that was 2022. That was that peak of 2022. And so we go boom, boom, boom. Now we had that peak, and that was July of 2023. And so that was 82 bars, which were in a weekly case. So that's 82 weeks. So that's an 82-week cup. Very long. From peak to peak. From peak to peak, that's 82 weeks. All right. There's 52 weeks in a year. So that's a year and a half. That's over a year and a half. That's a long cup. So all right, so we take the second little notch right here. That's 70. So a that's still a year and 20 weeks, just under a year and a half. So that's a long cup. So now we're in the handle pattern, in my opinion. We are in the handle pattern. And so remember, to my 4-to-1 week ratio, so it comes out to me, should be about 20 weeks for a handle if it's going to work. So around December is when we should start breaking up to the upside again, which kind of makes sense because I feel like we're kind of in a recession right now. We've been in a recession. They haven't called it yet, but they will. Or they always will be out of the recession by the time they call it. And so I believe we're in the handle right now. When I did the SPY was at 429. Now it's at 410. So it's going to that range where it might not be a handle anymore. At first I was saying, okay, 410 is kind of the cutoff line where it's at right now, where it's too deep of a handle to be called one. I'll give myself a little bit of leeway and say 400, just because it's using 500 companies instead of one. You got to give it a little leeway. So, but if it breaks below 400 on the SPY, it's not a cup and handle. But we'll see how November goes. And so this is the gematria I have. SPY technicals need a long duration. Okay, so think about this. SPY technicals need a long duration, and SPY ETF needs wiggle for accurate TA, technical analysis. They all in four of the base English ciphers both equal 333 English ordinal, 135 reduction, 477 reverse ordinal, and 162 reverse reduction. So you see the connection there. You see how strong it is. It needs some wiggle room. It's 500 companies into one instead of just one individual company. So the TA needs a little bit of a variation of standard deviation. The 2023 SPY cup and handle bottoms at 410, 333 English ordinal, 117 English reduction. All right, you could say 401. All right, I'll give it to 400, but if it goes below that, it's not a cup and handle anymore. I gotta have some type of standard line. It's going to be a pretty deep handle, but I think since it's a giant type of ETF, you have to give it that room. So I know it says 410 here, but you can just move that order over, and it still gets that 333. So the 2023 SPY cup and handle bottoms at 410 or 401, 333 English ordinal, 117 reduction. Expect longer handles on big cups. 313 English ordinal, 133 reduction. And then you have 137 reverse reduction, the 33rd prime. And longer handle for SPY technicals, 137 in English reduction, the 33rd prime. And so that's what I'm thinking right now. We've had a lot of down days recently on the SPY and the market in general. So I think it's time for potentially a melt up. And so then now you're looking at the consolidation. So that's what I'm seeing on the SPY. That's the cup and handle theory I have. We'll see if it holds up. But if it breaks below 400, I can't call it a cup and handle. But also remember, get this book. This is really good.